And welcome back to the third batch of Let's Play videos. My name is Wodball, and I'm your player for today. And we will be journeying into Gabriel Night, Sins of the Fathers, Day 2. So, let's get started. When last we left off, Gabriel was, trying to get into the Getty estate, but failed to do so because he didn't have any official business. Well, I guess we'll have to see about that, won't we? First, well, let's go to the police station to get an update from Mosley about the Voodoo murders case. Well, that's unusual. There's a guy doing something. He's walking away.
Hey. Knight, come on in.
Look at that lurid jacket that he's wearing.
Mosley was one of those beefy guys in his youth. Now he's getting lumpy. The badge in his front coat pocket is set off particularly well by the gold polyester of his jacket.
Wait a minute. You know, we could pose as a police officer, right? Gabriel's already faked himself out as a couple of other things already. How do we do that? Well, okay. We have to somehow show that we are, I don't know, that we are associated
Can I ask you about some stuff? You're the What's the status on the Voodoo murders case? You're as filled in as me.
Seeing as how we know as much as Mosley does about the Voodoo murders case, we can, well, pose as him. They are best friends after all. But we have to get him to take off his coat, otherwise we can't steal the badge off him.
I'll be seeing you.
If we flash a badge in front of the butler, we might be able to get in. But there must be some way we can get... take off a jacket. When do people usually take off their jackets? When it's really warm, right? What was that thing that repairman was tinkering with anyway?
There's a temperature gauge on the wall near Mosley's office. The security cage has been removed by the electrician.
Huh. Did he fix it? Let's roast him.
It's hot in here.
Oh yeah, it's really hot. 90 degrees.
Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink.
If you mean I turned it off, then yes. The air conditioning is
Are you
on.
hot? Man, I'm hot.
Well, he took off his jacket. Now we just need to get him to leave the room. Now yesterday, we'd actually gotten the other officer to stay in the office, but we have to get Mosley to leave the room somehow. I know. Remember yesterday? Remember in day 1?
Can I ask you about
a few videos
you're
back?
The writer. Ask him.
We asked him to get something for us, you know, something that only he can get access to, something like coffee.
How about getting me some coffee? What am I, your slave? Hey, I'm working my butt off here. Yeah, fine. Some people are never satisfied.
Now with Mosley out of the room, kleptomania time.
I think I'll just borrow this badge. Hey, what are you doing with my coat? Nothing. I thought I saw something crawling on it.
So let's see, Gabriel's now stolen police files.
Just drink this.
And stolen a police badge.
Thanks. Tons. I mean it.
I think we've exhausted all possibilities with Mosley. Let's get out of here. But before we head over to the Getty House, we should probably head over to the Historical Voodoo Museum, because today's day 2, and the proprietor, Dr. John, is back, or at least according to that lady from day 1, that's who we need to talk to about this historical voodoo stuff. So let's head over there right now.
Welcome, my friend.
Hello?
I am the proprietor, Dr. John. If you have any questions, I will be happy to assist.
Great. My name is Nye, and I'll probably take you up on that.
So this is Dr. John.
Dr. John is a huge man. If his manner weren't so pleasant, he'd be intimidating.
He's being voiced by Michael Dorn. For those of you who aren't Star Trek fans, you probably don't know him. But for those of you that are, you might remember him as Mr. Worf, the crazy Klingon who was married to Jadzia for 2 seasons before she got tragically... Mr. Worf, who starred in a gajillion movies, 2, well, extends to 3 different Star Trek series, and is now playing a Sierra character. How the mighty have fallen, right? Now, this game was made in '93. DS9's last season was in 1999, I think, so you won't have to worry about all that stuff. Anyway, enough background about Michael Dorn. Let's go ask him questions of Dr. John.
Could I ask you some questions?
That is why I am here.
Alright, let's ask the questions.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Historical voodoo? Or the voodoo currently practiced in the city?
Oh, great. There's more than one. You know what that means? Dialogue
What do
tree
you know
exploration
about the voodoo
time.
murders?
The killings in the newspaper? I know that they have nothing to do with true voodoo in New Orleans.
What makes you think the voodoo murders aren't being done by local practitioners?
Voodoo is a popular boogeyman, Mr. Knight, especially in New Orleans. Anyone can pretend to use it, just as anyone can pretend to be a black belt in karate, and for the same reason, to intimidate. I know voodoo in this city, Mr. Knight, and believe me, it is not about killing. Even the police have stated that the killings have nothing to do with local voodoo.
So you know nothing about the voodoo murders case?
I neither know nor care to know, Mr. Knight. My only possible interest is in how it might affect the public's attitude towards the museum. So far, it has not been an issue. No one has even had the bad taste to bring it up. Until you, that is.
Ooh, Gabriel has bad taste.
What do you think of New Orleans?
It is the only city in the United States as far as I am concerned.
What is it about New Orleans that you so admire?
It has a real culture of its own, Mr. Knight, amid the horrid blandness that is Americana. New Orleans alone has a voice.
Spoken like a true New Orleanian. Do you have anything else to say about New Orleans?
I have already given you my opinion, Mr. Knight.
Well, I have to ask anyway because it's on the dialogue tree.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Ah, you have perhaps noticed the museum's snake, Mr. Knight. They are beautiful creatures, do you not agree? And the tourists seem to associate them with voodoo.
Is the snake yours? Do you use it in your practice of voodoo?
I admire the spirit of the snake, Mr. Knight, but snakes like the museums can be quite dangerous to handle.
You didn't really answer my question.
I think I did, Mr. Knight.
I'd really like to know more about your snake.
There is really nothing more to say, Mr. Knight.